I think of ministry as what connects us with each other and with the divine.
Ministry is not just about finding a good and worthy cause, but really finding it from a spiritual center.
We did not lay down the ministry, but the laity. We are all called to ministry in some form or fashion. How do we respond?
You know, as people are attending to ministry, they are serving, I think, the work of the larger world in being receptive to what Spirit has for us and what it is calling us to do.
Ministry helps us to see that wherever we are in our spiritual journey, we are a piece of something much larger.
I think when our ministry is like an artesian spring, it's just coming up out of the ground with a force of energy from within. We don't know what the source is, we just know it's coming from within and it bubbles to the surface. I think there's joy and energy and it draws people to us.
Because God has a dream for the world. And I believe that we are part of that dream. Unless we wake up and respond, it cannot come about.
Going back 300 years in the Society of Friends, when a minister was released, their meeting would acknowledge they had a calling, and the meeting would decide this person's calling was of such a nature that it was important to recognize it, acknowledge it, and say to the friend, go forth and do your work in the world.
The society's not what it was 200 years ago when this country was largely an agrarian society. You know, ministers need support, and it's not just a minute of support from their meeting.
For a ministry to be released, it requires a community to hold it.
I envision it as taking off the weights and letting you soar.
And we know from the Gospel of Thomas that when we do that, that will save us, that will give us life.
Releasing Ministry Alliance is a way for ministries to connect with the resources that they need. It's a way for the communities that would like to invite ministry to know what is available, how to contact them, what the history of that ministry is.
This could be a one place where you could go and you could see the compelling ministries that are coming out of meetings all around, not just the U.S., but the world.
And I think that that's one of the most important things about this is that these ministries become more visible.
There's not many of us who will actually be able to come over and tend your farm, harvest your crops, as Quakers may have done in centuries past. But this is a vision of how we can support those who we believe have a ministry and a leading in sort of a different time.
What I really love about the program is that it harnesses modern technology to help us do something that's been important to the Society of Friends for hundreds of years.
People go online looking for this kind of information all the time, and we don't have a central repository.
One of the things that I think the society really needs right now is innovation and attempting to do things differently.
I think this is going to be an astonishing and wonderful place to really display for the world what the Religious Society of Friends can be.
Your move, your support, your contribution to this helps strengthen the network of those engaged in spirit-directed work around this country and around the world.
I want to invite you to contribute to the development of the website so that this project can really get underway. www.releasingministry.org/campaign.
Or you can give a tax-deductible contribution to Central Philadelphia Monthly Meeting, which has oversight of this ministry. And their address is 1515 Cherry Street, Philadelphia, PA 19102.